Learn to talk to people by using positive language. Christians, let's face it, we're often known for using negative language, right? For saying, don't do it, it's wrong, it's a sin, and there's something wrong with you. It's the message people get. Notice the language I've been using. I think I have a slide for this. Language that I've been using. Honor your body. Respect your biological identity, your biological sex. Live in harmony with the Creator's design. We are meant to be, integrate body and mind, in tune. They are meant to be in tune with one another. Now, why? I have to tell you, when I speak publicly, I find that Christians have a hard time making this shift. They're really stuck. They're really stuck in the negative approach. They really want to say, this is wrong, stop it. And so why is it that Christians have a hard time making the shift to a more positive approach? It's because Christians hold a form of dualism too, just like secular people do. We call it the sacred-secular split. That language is familiar to you, right? One of my students put it this way. She said, growing up in the church, I was always taught, spirit good, body bad. Which is a pretty good summary. And the problem is that Christians have lost touch with our own heritage. The early Christian church was born into an ancient Greek and Roman culture that also devalued the physical world, like modern secularism does, though for very different reasons. The early church faced philosophies like Gnosticism. Some of you studied Gnosticism in your theology classes. Some of the New Testament books are written against Gnosticism. Platonism, Manichaeism. Augustine was a Manichae. All of these isms had a low view of the material world. They saw the material world as a realm of death, decay, and destruction. In fact, Gnosticism even taught that this world was created by a low-level deity, several levels, and it was an evil god. It was the lowest god who was actually evil who made this world, because no self-respecting deity would muck about with matter. Gnosticism denigrated the body as the prison house of the soul, and so the goal of salvation was to escape from the physical realm, to leave it behind. In this historical context, Christianity was nothing short of revolutionary. It taught that the material world was created by the supreme deity, not some low-level god, but by the supreme deity who was a good God. And therefore, this creation is inherently good. And the fall does not negate that. The fall is like taking an artistic masterpiece and scribbling on it. You can still see the beauty of the original masterpiece coming through. But in the early church, Christianity's greatest scandal actually was its claim that that same supreme deity had entered into the material world and taken on a physical body. So the incarnation was the ultimate affirmation of the value and dignity of the human body. And what's more, when Jesus was executed on a Roman cross, we might say he did escape the physical world, as Gnosticism taught we should aspire to do. But what did he do then? He came back in a physical body. To the ancient Greeks, this was not spiritual progress. Who would want to come back to the body, the physical realm? This was regress in their minds. The whole idea of a bodily resurrection was utter foolishness to the Greeks, as Paul puts it. And what's going to happen at the end of time? God is not going to scrap the material world as if he made a mistake first time around. Whoops, that didn't work. Let's try something else. No, he's going to restore and renew it. He's going to create a new heavens and a new heavens and a new earth. The Apostles' Creed affirms the resurrection of the body. I was talking to a secular friend who said, wow, that's pretty advanced. All the way back in the New Testament times, they were talking about the value of the body, the resurrection of the body. And in fact, I would what we need to realize as Christians is there's no other philosophy or religion that has such a high view of the material world. It's not, nobody else, no other religion has such a high view. We should be so excited. We should be presenting the Christian worldview with such joy, with such excitement. Guys, look at this wonderful worldview. It actually teaches that our bodies, our life in this physical world, has such high dignity and value that outshines any other system of thought. So let me end with a story. A woman named Laura Perry transitioned to male and successfully passed as a man for 10 years. And then she converted to Christianity. And at first she thought she could continue living as a man. She said, "I aspired to be a real man of God." But one day while she was praying, she seemed to hear God say to her, "You cannot claim to love me and yet reject my creation." She could not reject her body, her female body. So Christians must make the positive case that biblical morality is based on loving and accepting God's creation. And this is a positive message that will reach the hearts of postmodern people. Thank you very much.